Alright guys, Mr. G here with a quick start guide to Starsector. We're firing up a new vanilla campaign. We're going to do it in an older galaxy, a little larger one, so we have more option to colonize later down the road. We're going to do a quick start with this one. We're going to grab the Hammerhead class destroyer, mainly because I've been playing the Hammerhead forever, and it's one of my all-time favorite destroyers in Crossout. I go back with this game years, so that ship has a soft spot in my heart. Now, if you've been playing Starsector for ages, you do not need to watch this video. But for this one, it's for you new guys. We are going to go through the tutorial relatively quickly. First skill being how to salvage debris. So yeah, this is going to work for us, but you will get diminishing returns if you just do it over and over. We're going to fight a really easy pirate fleet here. There's literally no way we can lose this. But this whole video is going to be about how important supplies are in Crossout, because supplies will make or break you. We're going to help you learn how to make some basic money, get through the tutorial, and spec out your character in a way that lets them make some money. So we're going to blow up this poor guy. We're going to slap our shields on. We're going to shoot at him. Hopefully you've done the combat tutorials already. They're right to the point, and this game's pretty easy to pick up. We've already blown this guy up. That didn't take long. We're going to pick through the wreckage. We're going to grab everything. We got room for all of it. And then time to do some quick saving and some character specking, because we've got some skills. This is just all part of the tutorial. We're going to try and blaze through this boring stuff as quickly as we can. Alright, let's get to it. Off we go. Okay, we're going to pick up two super important skills for starting out. These are going to be in the leadership and the technology trees. First one being logistics. The second tier of this skill will reduce maintenance by 25%. Next skill we're going to look at is navigation. Tier 2 reduces fuel consumption by 25%. You're going to want to spec out both of those skills to tier 2, and then eventually we'll grab transverse jump in navigation, which is a nice thing for running away. Alright, let's wrap this up. Let's get to where we need to go. Check your map there, and you can always just set a course, right click, and head to somewhere. We're going to just get through this tutorial. Alright, bing bam boom. And so they're going to unlock skills for you as you go through. For example, they're like, hey, maybe we could get there a little bit quicker. Can we have the skill for sustained burn? We sure can. This is just it's going to burn through your fuel. It's going to take a little bit of time to spool up, but it's going to be a much faster speed than your default speed. You'll use this for running away from guys and trying to catch guys. Starsector is very much like Mountain Blade, so where speed and being able to catch guys or run guys away from guys is pretty important. So we're going to open up the comm directory. You'll see a little icon next to the person we need to talk to. It doesn't really matter what we say. We're like, hey, why me? Well, they need us to do some jobs. Of course they do, because it's a tutorial. Yeah, what if we get noticed by some pirates? Well, we're not going to get noticed. So we're going to fly to a station here in a minute. We're going to covertly pick up some data. And we're going to learn another skill, which is going dark. This game's all about how you move through the world in particular. All right, we got some things we can sell off here. Do pay attention to this. You could do left click, shift click, control click to do different quantities. It will even fill up to your max that you can take if you just control click. So make sure you don't miss those tool tips there, because it makes it a lot more easy for you to transfer items. So shift and control are your friends for doing it all at once or one at a time. And like I said earlier, everything in Starsector takes supplies. So all your money, most of it, is going to go to getting supplies, because battles take supplies, moving takes supplies. It's also why you don't want to get your fleet too big too quickly, because you will burn through supplies. Now we've got a contact there on radar unidentified. We're just going to sneak around him in dark mode. Transponder needs to be off. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So we're going to open up, talk to our contact there, and then we're going to be good to go. And back to our mission. We'll be able to turn that mission in. Alright, so there's our person in the comms. Is there a problem? Sure, more stuff we need to blow up. Alright, well, let's go take care of this next task. Of course, we'll see what we can do, because we're the player character and you need to teach us tutorial stuff. Alright, let's go find what we're supposed to do. We can go ahead and just click on that and click show on map. So we need to go near this planet. Let's go hunt somebody down here. See what we can do. So there's the sector map. You can actually go in between star systems, and that will cost fuel. But for where we're going, we're going to find this domain error probe. We're going to fight it, and we're going to get ourselves some AI cores. And if you don't know anything about Starsector lore, there was this big war that started from artificial intelligence, meaning that cores are super illegal. So you're going to get some, and you might use them in your colonies later down the road. I'll do a colony episode later. That's going to get you into trouble with the hegemony, and they're going to come track you down because they're not going to be happy that you're using cores. But that's a mission for later. Right now, we're just going to go ahead and slap on autopilot. I'm going to wrap this up. I have kids and a wife, so oftentimes they're like, hey, we need you to do stuff. Just hit U, and you can let your ships just autopilot a battle for you. And you can just hit tab and watch from the tactical map. It's really handy if you got to run off and do something and you want to let a fight go, and then maybe it looks bad, you can drop back in, which is a really cool feature in my opinion. Okay, we're going to pick through the wreckage. We're going to take a look, grab ourselves, there you go. Nope, looks like no core in this one, just some gear. That's fine. I was just rambling on about cores because they're going to become more important later. We want to be careful that we're not overloaded, so we're going to control click to dump any extra gear here that's too heavy. There's our cores. Because if we're overloaded, that's going to cost us extra supplies, and like I've been saying this whole video, we do not want to burn through our supplies too quickly. So we need to set ourselves a course back for Corvus. Looks like we've got a few more points to spend here. We got one more. Do we want to spend it on logistics, or do we want to spend it on navigation? So you'll notice each skill has 3 tiers, so you have to upgrade the skill or the attribute, I guess, before you can actually get to the skill. I do highly recommend, though, leadership and technology are good places to start. Technology will also unlock mods that you can install on your ships, which we'll talk about in a minute when we get into ship refitting. This is just a really basic overview, just trying to give you guys a little bit more than what the tutorial's given you. We're going to try and go around the star a little bit because stars can sometimes slow us down and make us burn through extra fuel. Now, the tutorial is just really pretty brief. A lot of people finish the tutorial and are like, what am I supposed to do now? Well, it's an open game. Do what you want to do, which is the joy of this game. And if there's more you want to do, well, there's some great mods you can grab. We'll talk more about that later. So let's jump on comms. Let's get our mission reward here. So, you've said their forces are significant. All right, we're going to have to go blow some guys up. So, we're going to go salvage some ships. I'm going to tell you the ships that you're going to want to grab from these ones. You're not going to want to salvage all the ships down here because that's going to cost you too much supplies, which is going to burn through your money too quickly. And there's a whole pile of ships here. You got to weigh benefits versus negatives whenever you're salvaging any ship. Maybe it's a ship you really want, go for it. Otherwise, most of the stuff you're going to get is going to be garbage, and it's going to have what's called D-mods, meaning it's not going to be a great ship. We're going to grab this guy because it's a carrier, and carriers are always excellent support ships to have, and we can put cool fighters in it later. And then we're going to grab a second Hammerhead destroyer, namely because I love the Hammerhead. So these are the best 2 ships that you can salvage in the tutorial. There are other mods you can get, Descripton, for example, where you can start out working for another faction and choose your starting fleet. Because if you've been playing this game forever, well, you kind of want to jump right into the action of starting your own kingdom in Starsector, which you can do. You can create your own faction. We'll do a video more on that later. This guide is about saving money and just getting started with your fleet and how to beat the tutorial and choose some of your first beginner missions. So here we are, back at the station. Let's take a peek. All right, let's talk about refitting ships, which is one of the best things about Starsector is you can kit out your ships and all kinds of different weapons. You have different hard points of different sizes for your ships, and you have like kinetic and energy and beams. You have these different kinds of weapons and missiles, and it's a very rock, paper, scissors system. Some things are better at shields, some are better at hull damage, etc. You'll figure that out as you play through the game. So we've got these ships now that we did repair, but that doesn't mean they have any weapons. We need to go and we need to clean them up. So we need to go ahead and get into the refit section here. I was rambling on. So we're going to click down here on refit. Also, you notice we have an extra core from that mission. We can sell it on the black market, which is nice. I use the black market a lot because you do not have to pay a tariff, which you do on a regular market. You will incur a penalty. If you keep doing it, they will be mad at you and chase you down. But if you just do it a little bit, you can get away with it. So you can just auto-fit your ship if you want, save you some time. And if you're a new player, I recommend doing that. We're a little short on cash, so we're going to go ahead and just use some of the weapons that we have laying around in our inventory so we don't have to pay for anything. So we're going to fill that up, and you're going to have capacitors and vents. Capacitors let you take more flux before you overload, and vents let you get rid of your flux and dissipate it faster when you hit that key to vent all your flux. And then you can add some mods as well. So you want to make sure you're using all the points you can on your ship and you're not leaving any unused. Alright, now we need to go and do our hammerhead. It's got some stuff still on it, some weapons still on it. We're going to slap some point defense on there. It's not great, but it's going to get us out the door and it's going to get us started. So let's make sure we use up the rest of our points here for our ship. And maybe we have enough left over to grab a mod for this thing. Should we put unstable injectors in there and get some more speed? Why not? Let's do it. It's good enough for now. And then we're going to want to go over to our fleet screen and we're going to want to prioritize. Now, like I was telling you about skills, as you get other technology, it's going to unlock more of those mods that you can put on your ship. Weapon groups are also important. You can do those automatically. Okay. Now, this screen's important because the higher priority your ship is, the more it's going to get the resources that you have. If it's near the end, it's going to be less priority in getting repaired. So usually you're going to leave your tankers and your freighters down there, your least important ships. We also need to make sure we assign commanders to these other ships. I forgot we hired on a guy and I forgot to assign him to a ship. So we're going to take care of that now. Alright, let's stabilize this jump point so that these guys are connected to the neighboring systems and can get into hyperspace. Doing favors, and you know what? Let's grab... Can we catch these pirates while we're at it? It's always a game of emergency burn and sustained burn, trying to catch faster fleets. And sometimes they'll just outrun you. You can click on them and just auto-target them, but sometimes you gotta guess where they're gonna be and kind of slingshot yourself into their path to be able to catch them. Anyone who's played Mountain Blade knows how important it is either catching your target or running from your target. Those guys weren't worth the fuel and energy to run down, so we're going to just go ahead and let them go. We're going to wrap up that mission, and that just about wraps us up. So we've, gained some points with the hegemony. Good for us. We're best buddies now. They will still pull you over if you're smuggling illegal goods or you're running with your transponder off, but for now, we're okay. We're going to go ahead and take a look, though, at bounties. There's two kinds of bounties. There's bounties on characters, and there's bounties on just killing any pirates in a certain system. We want to take out a character. We want to get paid one lump sum for blowing somebody up. So first we want to make sure that they're close enough to us that we don't have to burn tons of fuel warping halfway across the galaxy to get to them. So let's go find a winner. It's going to tell you the system that they're in, and it's going to tell you a planet that they're hanging around, like maybe barren planet, whatever. They're not too hard to find most of the time. So we're going to go ahead and jump to hyperspace, which is going to require that we use some fuel. We do have a fuel tanker, so we've got enough fuel for this. I recommend not jumping right into the star of a system. That's going to cost you extra fuel. Your autopilot will automatically just shoot you for the star at the center of the system. It's usually better to jump a little further out, then you're not fighting the gravity well of that star to get out. So we're going to go check, find that planet this guy's rumored to be hanging out around. Then we're going to go find him and go blow him up as we fly right into the sun there. Nice driving, G. Okay, here he is. You can see, just like the tutorials, now we just got to catch him, wipe the map with him, and make a little bit of money. So bounties are going to be one of the first ways you can make some money. You can also jump in and hegemony battles against invasion fleets and things like that and help mop up the extras. You can get into trade and you can get into smuggling, but for this first video, we're mostly going to focus on just finding bounties that are easy to do. If you're interested, you can do survey missions as well. That's going to require you have a lot of fuel. be able to go a long ways. That's going to make sure you need to have lots of supplies to do those. So these are probably the easiest kind of mission to do when starting out. We're not going to deploy all our ships because we don't want to burn through any more supplies than we need to, which is super important in Starsector. It's all about making sure we don't burn through too much. And there it is, 52k. We made some relationships there with Hegemony. We also earned some skills. So we'll go ahead and add that extra skill point into logistics, which is going to save us on supplies. Hopefully, you guys found this useful. It's a great game. It just doesn't hold your hand too much starting out. And if you like this game, they have an amazing Discord server. Really helpful guys. They'll answer your questions. If I remember, I will try and link it in the description, but a simple Google search should get you there. Like and subscribe for more Starsector stuff. I'm going to catch you guys later. Mr. G out.